Sugar's been a problem for most of my life. I'm definitely a sugar addict. I've always had a sweet tooth. And nevertheless, I figured that this was leading to a lot of mental and physical pain. So 3 years ago, I happened to finally quit sugar for about 1 year. Here's what happened. Subscribe to my channel to receive weekly videos with stories, facts, and advice on transformational habits that will help you create lasting change in your life. Sugar was a big part of my life. I mean, as a child, I've been eating breakfast like sugar all the time with those chocolate chip-like cereals. But then about a couple of years ago, when I was working, I was putting myself through a lot of pressure and stress. And I was having a project in Munich. And just happened that I didn't have a doctor then, but I got really sick. Like very high fever, headache, throat ache. I was unable to go to work and I went straight to the doctor. I just found one that was nearby where I was living for those couple of months. And this doctor, for the first time, made me aware that this type of cold or flu, or I didn't really know what it was actually really just that the bacterial flora I had in my intestine was so down that my body was just not able to cope anymore with anything happening. So my immune system was down, basically. So instead of giving me antibiotics, what normally I was getting like all the time, especially when I had phases where I was getting chronically sick with that type of symptoms, he told me that he would not, for sure, not give me antibiotics because this would worsen my situation. So instead, he recommended I quit sugar for about a week and alcohol and a couple of foods. And I would take probiotics and be off work and just sleep. That was my prescription. I was a bit surprised, even shocked, but I went through it, and after a week I felt so much better and was ready to go again full into my working long hours. So this made me aware of what was happening really, and I had a lot more occasions where I had the opportunity to observe the link between eating too much sugar, having stress, and which are factors that are really hitting on your intestine, and then literally ending up being sick again with the same symptoms, which appear to be a flu or a cold or sinusitis or angina, but you know, it doesn't seem to be so much linked to an external factor that it is from an internal factor from your gut that is not able to react anymore. So 3 years ago, it was right after Christmas. Christmas is a big sugar eating phase, and since I'm still counted in the young age range at work, I was receiving, as always, all the chocolate and sugar from colleagues that had it from Christmas and New Year's and didn't eat them. So I ate a lot of sugar over Christmas, over New Year's, and then for the couple of weeks following that when I was starting to work again, because work, my office, was full of chocolate and I'm an addict, so what do? I eat it, of course. Until 3 weeks later, I just realized that I was starting to feel those symptoms again. Headache and throat ache, and it felt very inflamed here. And sometimes I could see that my body was reacting very quickly. I took a sip of red wine one evening and all of a sudden I got very heavy headache. My nose completely closed and I just felt like, okay, my body's had enough. I wouldn't have believed this would happen and this was even possible, but that's how fast my body would react once it had so much sugar over the past few weeks. So I decided right there and then to quit sugar for a week or 2 weeks until I get better, just to make sure that I don't get completely sick and I stay operational and able to work and enjoy life. So that's what I did. I just ate cooked potatoes and veggies for 1 week because honestly I was not even feeling like eating anything else because I was just in pain. And so that worked well. I was so sick, literally, that I didn't even feel like eating sugar, which is not like me, but when you push your body too hard, sometimes that's where you get. And after the first week, I kept going for the second week and the third week. And then I decided, why not just go on like this? If sugar is making me sick anyways, and now my craving is sort of gone, then why don't I just stick to it? So here's what I did. I just decided for myself that I would just from now on not eat sugar anymore. And just to be clear, for me what that meant at this time, which is 3 years ago, it just meant that I wouldn't eat sweets. So no cake, no chocolate, no, dessert type of stuff, or sugary snacks. But I was still eating bread, pasta, and I was not paying attention religiously to the stuff that's in some food, because sometimes you have some added refined sugar. That's not what I was doing. I was just focusing on not eating sweets. And the result was quite amazing. My energy stabilized. I stopped feeling getting chronically ill. I felt better from the mood. My skin also got better. And what was really interesting is I figured out it was not as difficult as I had expected. Actually, once the first 1, 2, 3 weeks passed, when the craving was over, I didn't really need it anymore. And I found that what really helped me stay away from it for so long was that I had that clear rule in my head, and I was also very clear to others. I didn't say, I'm trying to quit sweets or I'm trying to quit sugar. I said, I don't eat sugar. I don't eat sweets. And when you're that assertive about something, people get it. If you're not yourself sure of what you're doing, then people won't get it and they will keep pushing you. I did not lose weight, because that might interest some of you guys, but I think that's mainly because in some way my sugar addiction found a loophole and it went into bread and pasta. I'm also a pasta addict for sure. Of course, for me it's much better to eat those things than refined sugar because I won't be able to eat the same quantity, and also the craving is slightly less, but still, that's something that I found out by now, and this would be maybe material for another video, that bread and pasta, yes, but maybe not so much and not so often. So here I am, not eating sweets, being very proud of myself, and after 1 year plus, what do? I did that little mistake. To celebrate a friend who was going away and wanted to bake something, I decided I would do something as well. I would do some desserts and I would eat sweets over one weekend. And this one weekend was completely enough to just trigger my addiction again. So it was that easy to fall back into it. And I'm not too angry at myself. I think it's all a work in progress. And since then, I've discovered so many more things, and I've had to dive deeper because besides these chronic pains, I've also had like very weird stuff and pains and mood switch and stress happening when I was eating too much sugar. So in the end, I'm very thankful for the process of eating sugar again, stopping again, eating sugar again, stopping again. And on the path, I actually found the Wild Fit program. So I'll probably be talking about that more in another video, but this was groundbreaking to me. It's the only diet, if I may call it so, probably not, but that helped me filter out or come to basics and really find some type of eating that cures me from most pains, because I was having a strange tooth pain as well, and it all disappeared thanks to Wild Fit. So I'm not saying that I'm religiously sticking to just one thing now, but what I've learned is observing myself and accepting the process and quitting a long time once. It makes you progress. It doesn't matter if you fall back into it afterwards. And every time you kind of make this falling back, take it as an opportunity. Observe, did you fall back? Okay, but why? What does it do to you? Why do you want to even quit sugar in the first place? And every time I had this fallback, I was able to observe yet another reason why I really wanted to quit sugar for a long time in my life. And at the moment, the result is I'm really thankful because I made a lot of progress. I'm generally having many phases throughout the year without sugar completely, and even talking about pasta and bread, even without carbs. And these phases really seem to help me reset, and the more I progress, even though I'm still having downfalls, and you can notice because look at my skin here. So I've been eating sugar because I was moving out and I was very stressed, or when I have these phases where I do eat sugar, then I actually head for qualitative stuff. I head for stuff that I really like, and most of the time is really qualitative, and I indulge in them, and then I observe how I react. And yet again, it helps me because it shows me that quality is great, but if I overdo it, I will always get back to the same point. So that's my 1 year without sugar in retrospect. What I would say is that it's taught me that I can live without sugar, that sugar ruins my skin, literally. It kind of makes my body, it seems like more inflamed or something like that. I just get chronically sick when I eat too much of it. And I can actually feel it when it starts burning here and starts reaching my head and my throat, actually. It also impacts my mood a lot. So I feel I'm more prone to stress, and I feel not as peaceful when I have so much sugar. So those are all huge reasons for me to keep doing this battle against the sugar. I know I can live without it. And right now I'm actually sugarless for a week or so, or maybe 10 days, and everything starts falling into place again. So I do want to find the way that works best for me. I don't know if I want to quit it completely. I've been trying to reintroduce some of it here and there, but most of the time it seems like I'm really addicted, so I fall completely back into it. So I may come to the point where I say that I really quit it completely for life, which right now I don't even have a problem anymore mentally imagining that, which a couple of years back I would have not even thought that would be possible. But what's most important, it's taught me also a great skill, which is looking at my habits, analyzing what's happening, observing how I'm reacting, and implementing stuff that works in the long term. And especially through this observing the habit, the general habit, like the trigger for eating sugar and the craving, and then how I react to it and what it does to me, what I think it what I think I will get from eating sugar, but what I actually get from it, it all helps me move forward a lot. And I've made a lot of progress. I hope you will too. And this video inspired you to quit sugar for maybe 1 week or 2. Yeah. Yay! So that's it. Let's fight together against sugar. Subscribe to my channel to receive weekly videos with stories, facts, and advice on transformational habits that will help you create lasting change in your life.